one man's junk is another man's treasure. And that's like totally how we feel right now. You're coming to me? So our closest neighbor moved away and he basically gave us a bunch of stuff. Like, he's the one that we got the sink from and the stainless steel countertop. And he gave us a farm truck, you guys, like an 88 or something Ford farm truck. It's not registered, so we just use it on the property. But rad, right? He gave us a whole bunch of telephone poles and just a whole bunch of really cool stuff that's like junk to a lot of people. But when you have a homestead, that junk is like treasure. And it reminds me of when Evan was little. We used to watch American Pickers, and he would always say, one man's junk is another man's treasure. And that's like totally how we feel right now. You're coming to me? We are modifying this kennel that we got from our neighbor into a chicken coop. So we're getting the chickens out of the compost bin finally, and we're just using what we have to make a little chicken coop. And this is what we've got so far, just a chain link kennel and some lattice that we got for free. And Brandon is tie wiring on the top. And we're gonna put some roosting things in there and some nesting boxes. But the deal is, this is just a sleeping spot. Our chicken's free range all day anyways, and we're gonna fence off a little bit of space for them so that they specifically till in one little area of what our soon-to-be garden will be, and so that they're protected from predators and whatnot. But I think that is a pretty awesome, use what you got kind of DIY fix for a chicken coop. Okay, so since it's been so long since we put out an actual video, I wanted to give you an update on little things that have been growing or happening on our homestead. We have some zucchini and cucumbers growing. I don't know what is what. They're just together. There's 3 little plants that are doing pretty well over here in a pile of potting soil that we kind of dispersed over here. And then we have some tomatoes growing. We actually had a little tiny baby tomato growing, and our chickens found it this morning. So that is one of the reasons why we're buckling down and trying to fence them off a bit to till up that specific place of, the specific garden area, and to keep them out of the garden. Here are our tiny little cucumber and zucchini plants. Like I said, I have no idea what is what. I'm sure I'll be able to figure it out in no time, but for right now it's just these 3 that are doing pretty stinking good. Over here are little tomatoes that aren't doing amazing. Like, they're not super flourishing, and I think it's our temperatures, you guys. It gets super hot out here, and I think they're just dropping their blossoms. So I'm not sure what to do about that. If you have any suggestions on what to do, they're either not blossoming at all or they're just dropping their blossoms. That's a bummer. The other couple weeks ago, when I had the kids just trying to kill time, trying to keep them busy, and I had them planting tomatoes and onions that we got for like 75 cents at Walmart. Funny enough, some onions are popping up. Ants are trying to eat them, but the onions are popping up. And one little zucchini plant from seed started in our soil is sprouting, which is pretty rad. I'm going to show you that right now. That's that one little zucchini seed that we planted, and that's the only thing that sprouted out of all the seeds we planted over here. But we're super stoked about it. And then over here, I don't know if I can find them, but yeah, there's some onions popping up randomly. I think the ants or gophers got the majority of them, but every now and again we'll see one little sprig of green or a couple sprigs of green pop up. But that's about it, which is still pretty neat because I didn't think anything would grow. I thought we were gonna have to totally amend this soil, but for the kids to see 3 little onions pop up and a zucchini plant, I think that's fun. The girls a while ago, like right when we first moved in, planted a pumpkin, a Jackby little pumpkin, and a watermelon, and those are flourishing. Like, they're doing so well. I'll take you down the hill to show you where they planted those. These are their watermelon plants. This, I think, is an orange glow watermelon. I think they both are, actually. I sprinkled diatomaceous earth on them because there were ants all over around here, and I just wanted to be cautious. And the chickens found them this morning too and plucked off some leaves. So I gotta get those chickens wrangled. This is a little strawberry watermelon, the only one that survived. And then this is their Jackby little pumpkin. It's so funny because there was nothing here when we first moved in, and they just planted them wherever. They didn't think to have a little garden spot or not. They had a little fairy garden thing here, and they're just like, we'll just plant the watermelons in our fairy garden. And this is right where we would be pulling in and out or backing up. So we have to be extra cautious now, but that's totally fine. I just think it's super funny how now that things are growing and evolving and we're finding places for things on the homestead, the girls' watermelons and pumpkins are right in our one of our most used paths. That's okay though. Come on. This wild desert gourd grows everywhere around here, and I think I've shown it to you in a video before, but it stinks so bad, you guys. It's like colocynth or something. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it produces these like circular gourds, and they smell so terrible. We actually call it the BO plant because it smells like BO. It's nasty. Just FYI. Yeah, it does smell worse than that. It's really gross.
You'll need fencing around.
Yeah, that's why we need the electric poultry netting. Okay, hold on. So we mapped out our little area with T-posts, and we went and checked the fencing that we got for free. And the bummer is we got amazing fencing, awesome fencing, but it's horse fencing. So the squares are way too big. The chickens will get right through. And then we got a roll of chain link that I think we're going to use temporarily. Bottom line is we need electric poultry netting. But we are using what we have on hand. So we're trying to figure out.
Probably not use that block.
We're trying to figure out what to do at the moment. The girls are very excited, trying to get the chicken waters and feeders in. But we'll make it work. We'll figure it out.
I'll go catch those two.
Don't play in there.
How do you open it?
Hey, little miss.
Abby left that in here.
She did. Oh my goodness.
I wasn't getting in. I'll get the last one. Oh, after her. Okay, second down. Good job, Agent. How do you get it?
Evan is filling our top tank for us. So another super cool thing, I mean, a super cool update. Brandon brought home scrap wood and built the stand for the sink that we already got from our neighbor. So yeah, it's up at the right level now, and we can wash dishes much more effectively, and we're stoked about it. That's what we used to wash dishes in. But now we're just waiting on looking to find a really good deal on a faucet to hook up, because there's a hot and cold connector underneath our RV that we could hook directly up to a faucet there. So yeah, things like that make my life as a mom so much more doable here. Like, I just want to be super honest with you guys. This life is amazing, and it's an adventure, and it's beautiful and we get to be surrounded in nature and it's such a blessing. All of that is true. But y'all, it's hard. It is hard here. Life is hard. Everything is work. Every single aspect of our day is hard work. Very challenging, and it's been much more difficult than I ever thought it would be. Like, we were preparing for difficult because we've lived in a fifth wheel before. But yeah, it's been a lot more challenging because we've never been off grid before. When we lived in a fifth wheel, when we only had 5 kids, we had the boys and Abby, who lived at the base of my dad's property in Duluth, so like around Fallbrook, California, and he had 5 acres and we lived at the base, and we were hooked up to his well, which was powered. We had electricity, we had cable, we had a guy came and emptied our tanks for us twice a month. Like, we had it easy. We had goats and chickens and a garden, and it was easy. And I thought it was hard then, and now it's a different kind of hard. Everything is hard. Everything's hard. Everybody's dirty all the time. I feel like we can't get ourselves clean enough. Generator gas, like all of it. Structure and routine and figuring out what works still. We've been here over a month and we still haven't figured out a flow. So that's one of the reasons why we haven't had videos out, because everything is so challenging. Like, nothing feels glamorous, nothing feels filmable or shareable. Like, you walk around, it just looks messy because there's no structures, there's no place to put anything. Everything's chaos, kind of. And Brandon has been working crazy long hours. His commute is about 2 hours each way, 1.5 to 2 hours each way. If he gets traffic, sometimes it's 2.5. So it's been me and the kids, and we're winging it. And I'm just trying to keep the ship afloat most days. But yeah, we're not giving in. We're not growing weary. We're trying to stay the course and look at every day with opportunity and excitement, and look for things that are amazing and awesome here, and not just see the struggle, because the struggle's obvious. The hard is obvious. It's right in front of our face. But the blessings, kind of, you have to dig a little bit, you know? So yeah, some days I do want to quit. Keeping it real. Some days I want to be like, dude, call your boss back in Tennessee. We're headed back. Because we could have made it there. Like, there was no reason we left other than family. We came home for family and community. That was the main reason. So yeah, we're still connecting. I feel like we're still like re-entering the family unit. But we're gonna make it work. We're gonna give it our best shot, that's for sure. All right, guys, the sun's going down, but we just wanted to update you on all the things that have been happening and all that's not super been happening around here. Stay tuned because we may be getting a super rad animal in the next 6 or 7 weeks. So we're preparing for that too. Got some cool updates coming around the bend. So hang in there. Thanks for sticking with us. We will hopefully see you tomorrow, if not sometime this week. I need some more roosts going on. This is just temporary until we can get the money to build a chickshaw. It's alright, just kick it into the chickens. But we plan on having a couple chickshaws going. But not too shabby, I guess, for temporary.